Hey everybody, I'm Just a Dude and welcome to the I'm Just a Dude video channel. Today we're going to talk about a comedian who is actually fairly well known, but she says something that's pretty abhorrent in my opinion. As you can see from the little icon that I made for the video, not cool. But before we get into that, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that little bell notification so every time I make an upload, you'll get to see it first. And remember to always comment and like below because it helps the analytics for the YouTube videos. And if I don't get any likes and if I don't get any comments, guess what? Big guys like Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, they get the views. They get the watches because YouTube likes to support them and not your independent content creators. So if you could do that for me, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, let's get into this article. Comedian says aborting her child made her feel very powerful, like God. You know, people are sick. This woman has something seriously wrong with her that she thinks this is kind of funny. Let's start with this article. Michelle Wolf is no stranger to controversy. The little-known comedian gained her big break last year with a routine at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Fair to say it didn't go down well, not least because much of her subject matter consisted of personally insulting people and making a mockery of abortion. Yeah, that's not too smart to do if you're at a White House Correspondents Dinner with a Republican president. Not cool and not too smart. Which actually says a lot about her and what she actually is saying here. A year later, and Wolf still deems it appropriate to hit hard on the controversial subject. In her new Netflix stand-up joke show, boy, Netflix, we keep hearing about Netflix a lot here, don't we? First, they're promoting a gay Jesus, and now they're promoting a comedian who says killing babies makes her feel like a god. What is going on with Netflix? I knew they were always kind of out there. You know, they weren't really that great about certain things. But now, you know, they're pushing the LGBTQ community agenda. Now they're pushing killing babies agenda. Now they're pushing, you know, Jesus is gay agenda. Oh, my goodness. Continuing, the comic boasted about how her abortions had gifted her a sense of power and authority. Oh, man. Continuing. You could feel any way you want after an abortion, Wolf said, before imploring members of the crowd to get one and see how they feel afterwards. Hey, just go get an abortion. Just check it out. See how it makes you feel. This woman needs help. This woman needs help. She's under the delusion, just like a lot of other people who, you know, are in the quote-unquote science community saying that, oh, abortions are fine because it's just a blob of cells that actually are nothing. Well, those blobs of cells, they actually form a human being and they're the beginning of a human life. So if they weren't life, they couldn't grow. If they couldn't grow, they would be dead. But since they're growing, that means they're life. That means it's alive. Continuing, the comic went on to describe her own emotions after getting a termination. You know how my abortion made me feel? Very powerful, she boasted, according to the Daily Wire. I walked out of there being like, move over, Morgan Freeman. I am God. This woman is sick. I mean, seriously, she needs some help. This is about a comedian who's laughing about killing a human life. And because of that, I could do that. That means I feel like God. This woman, this is, honestly, folks, if any of you are Christians who are listening to this makes me sick. It's disgusting. Continuing, elsewhere in the special, Wolf advocated for abortion on demand, insisting that options to abort should be as normal as hearing about your gluten allergy. No, not seriously. In some of my previous videos, I've actually talked about how, 96% of all biologists say that life begins at conception. They won't, see, Wolf doesn't hear that. She doesn't look at those statistics. She looks at the ones that benefit her arguments to be irresponsible, sexually active before marriage, and do foolish things. And then she could just have an abortion if something happens that she doesn't want to have happen. Oh man. All right, continuing. A lot of people think that even if you're allowed to get abortions, it should only be for a very few specific reasons, she continued. Well, I think you should be able to get an abortion for any reason you want. Oh, good God. That's the value of life, folks. That's the value of life people hold so precious these days. I'm telling you right now, as an American, there was one time me and my wife went to the gas station and the pumps weren't working because the electricity went down and people were losing their minds. They were yelling and screaming at the people, running the pumps and whatnot. I'm like, all you got to do is wait for like 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops, and you'll get your gas. What is the problem? Can you imagine if we live in a society where we don't get things that we want immediately, like food or, our electricity goes out or, we're put in dire situations? How in the world are people going to treat each other if you can't value a baby's life, the beginning of life? How in the world are you going to value anybody else's life when you're being tested? You're not going to. You're going to go crazy. You're going to go nuts on people because you don't value life. This is the result of our education system. This is the result of people not going to church and understanding the value of life. This is how people talk, and they think it's funny. They won't think it's funny if society ever collapses or something ever happens or something really bad happens to us or we end up in a war again. They're not going to think it's so funny then. Continuing. At last year's White House Correspondents Dinner, Wolf laid into the then Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm not going to go into this because all this does is talk about how Wolf made fun of Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I saw that clipping. You could find it on YouTube if you want to watch it, but it was disgusting. I'm going to get into this last paragraph here where she talks about Mike Pence because he's a Christian and pro-lifer. He thinks abortion is murder, Wolf said to the vice president, which, first of all, don't knock it till you try it. Oh my God. I don't remember that. I'm sure I watched it, but I forgot she said that. Continuing, and when you do try it, really knock it. You gotta get the baby out of there. And yeah, sure, you can groan all you want. I know, a lot of you are very anti-abortion. Unless it's the one you got from your secret mistress. Oh, good Lord. I will say this about that statement. Everything she said there was disgusting. It was abhorred, right? But the truth of the matter is there are people in Hollywood, there are people around the country, there are definitely people in Washington, D.C. who that actually probably is a legitimate argument. There are probably people who say they're for, pro-life and they're anti-abortion. But maybe they do cheat on their wives and they get a girl pregnant. And they're like, well, you know what? It's only this one instance. I think you should have an abortion. Maybe there's some guys out there or some girls out there who won't do that. But she's right. There probably are guys and girls out there who would have the abortion because of that situation that they put themselves in. That's why God says, don't do anything out of marriage. And if you're stupid enough and you make a sinful mistake, you hold yourself accountable. You don't commit a murder. You keep the baby or you give the baby up for adoption to a loving family. And don't tell me there's not loving families out there who don't want babies. There are. This is disgusting. I mean, this woman, honestly, I like to read these stories because this woman is a representation of what we're dealing with today in society. This woman is a symbol of what society is like, how they value life itself. You can't value a baby's life, and you joke about it like this. And like I said about that whole instance that me and my wife experienced in the gas station, it's going to be so much worse if something goes down. People do not have faith in God. They reject God. And they don't believe in God. They don't place any value on life or anyone else around them. It's all about me, I. It's about me and I. I got to love myself. I don't love anybody else. If I can't love myself, I can't love anybody else. I can't take care of anybody else. I got to take care of myself. It's all about yourself. There's no value in anybody's life. Okay. All right, folks, I'm done with this one, but you get my point. And the thing I find funny about this, we're talking about a special on Netflix again. Netflix is on a roll. What is going on with Netflix? I just don't understand it. Maybe at some point in time, I'm going to do a video on Netflix and see if there's actually anything on Netflix that actually is family oriented. Or is it all just crap? All right, folks, if you would be so kind, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that little bell notification so every time I make an upload, you'll get to see it first. And don't forget to subscribe to my BitChute channel. And if you want to, click that $ next to the subscribe button, and anything you could do to support the channels would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget about my Brighteon video channel as well. All the links are down below in the description. And the reason I have all those video platforms is just in case something happens on YouTube, which I've actually seen a lot of lately, and it probably will get worse. All right, folks, remember you can reach out to me on Twitter. I say Twitter mostly because that's where I'm at, so feel free. And remember to comment below, like the video. Let me know what you think about Michelle Wolf. Do you like her comedy? Do you not like her comedy? Are you revolted? Are you against this? Do you think it's okay? Do you not think it's okay? What is your opinion? I really want to know. I like especially interacting with fellow Christians. You know, there's a lot of trolls on YouTube. There's a lot of trolls on Twitter, and I deal with those. But I really like it when fellow Christians, you know, brothers and sisters in Christ, give me their opinion of what they think. All right, guys. Until next time, what do I always say? I say, God bless, guys. Take care, and until next time, bye now.